So, we are going to get started. Welcome to our, what is this, third webinar session. Today's session is on financial coaching for immigration applicants. And we are thankful for this session today and to have our presenter, Jeanette Benitez, who's our financial coaching manager. Now, I apologize. I can't be on screen. I am upside down. I don't know what's going on with this Zoom, so you're just going to hear my voice today. Same as the other sessions, we will do the presentation. Janet will give the presentation, and then we will open it up for Q&A. We have had 3 sessions, or this will be the third session. The first one, if you recall, for those that were with us during the first session, we talked a lot about credit and underwriting a capital good fund. The second session, we went into the loan process. So from consultation to application to closing, we got a feel for how things are processed here. And now this session, we'll be talking about coaching. And that kind of ties in because we've had situations across the board where we have had applicants that, don't have a credit profile or credit history. And, how do we look at that? And one of the things that we can offer and that we are looking to offer is, helping clients that have not established credit here in the U.S. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Jeanette so she can go ahead and fill us in on how that can happen and how that is going to help your cases and help us do more financing in the immigration space as well. Go ahead, Janet.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Like Lauren said, we are thankful. We are close to Thanksgiving. I can't believe it has been a quick year, but looking forward to sharing this great information with all of you so that you can hopefully provide it to your clients and it would be beneficial to them. So let's get this journey started. So I want to start off by talking about our financial coaching program. And this coaching program is designed to help clients learn about financial empowerment topics, but also establish or build credit. We do get clients often who do not have any credit history whatsoever, some that, have credit, but it's just not so well. So we've seen it all, right? This program is a 1-year program where clients will meet with a coach throughout that whole year. And we begin the sessions with 4 initial meetings, 1 each week for about an hour and a half via Zoom, just like what we're using now. And we also have a follow-up 6-month and 12-month check-in. And I'll get a little bit more into details of what the sessions consist of in the following slide. But also these clients will get additional check-ins throughout the year that can help them with accountability. They can choose these check-ins. They're optional. They're smaller. They can do weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, but it's really just to hold them accountable. And with this program, they receive 3 copies of their credit report with the FICO score. And I wanted to touch base a little bit about the FICO score and why this is important or what it is. Oftentimes, individuals are not aware of what is the FICO score because you hear often that people say, oh, yeah, look at your score, and like there's scores everywhere. But a FICO score is a 3-digit number based on the information in your credit report. It helps lenders determine how likely anyone is to repay a loan, right? Whether you're paying on time, how much credit are you using, the length of your credit history, how much credit you have. And it's really important for the clients, mostly because of the future opportunities that this will bring. I know that for the lending process, we're not FICO driven, but just the fact that the program is able to help them establish a FICO score that eventually will help them with like buying a house, starting a business, getting a car loan, getting a personal loan anywhere else, right? So it's just beneficial in the long term for the client. Now, continuing with the program and what do we cover. I mentioned that there's 4 sessions that we focus on during the first 4 weeks. So in the first session, we'll focus on creating goals, both short-term and long-term, something that's going to be attainable. So we make sure we write it down, that we have action steps. A lot of the times, clients have great goals that they have in mind, but they're just kind of like floating in the air. And once we actually put them down on paper, we write them down, we review it with them throughout the year, it holds them accountable to completing the action steps and meeting the goals. In the second, part of that first meeting, we will also do a budget, something that's realistic for the client. There's not a one size fit all budget. Everybody has different methods of budgeting, and it really just what's best for the client. So we'll try to figure that out so that they can follow that budget throughout that year. In the second session, I apologize. In the second session, we'll focus on credit and banking. So the clients will learn credit tips, what are the ins and outs of credit, how is it made up of. We'll also review their credit report with them, what's there, how can we approach it. And also talk a little bit about the banking system, just like, banks, credit unions, what's the difference? What's the best way to kind of obtain banking accounts, etc. And then in the third session, we'll focus on debt and savings. So we'll talk a little bit about like the different types of debt, how debt impacts the credit. We'll also create a debt management plan. So let's say that a particular client does have debt in their credit report. What's the best way to tackle it? What's the best way to pay it down? And then we'll talk about some saving tips, strategies. How can we start saving? Is there anything else we need to do prior to this to be able to save? And then the last session focuses on health and reflection. So we'll create some health goals. We'll make sure that we have what we need for the next 6 months, or what is the plan? What are we going to follow? What is the client going to do to stay on track for the next 6 months? So this is what we cover in those sessions. And like I mentioned, the 6-month and 12-month follow-up, those meetings, what we do is we provide them an updated copy of their credit report. We review the goals and the progress and see how everything is going. Now, is there a cost to the program? Yes, there is. So the program costs $15 a month for 1 year, which is $180 a year. Now, let's say 2 people want to do the program. That's $18.75 a month for 2 people. I'm sorry, yeah, a month for 2 people, and then $225 a year. Now, I do want to share that we currently are offering an incentive in the below qualifying states. So if any of the clients are in the states of Connecticut, New Jersey, Florida, and Texas, we are currently offering an incentive of $360. The way this incentive is broken down is that after the first payment clears, the client will receive in their bank account $180. Once that final payment clears, they'll receive the final $180. Now, the incentives are there to assist the clients in establishing an emergency fund or savings account. However, they can use it for any purpose. So like if they decide to leave the 180 in the bank account to pay for the program itself, by all means, they'll still take $180 at the end of the program. Now I want to talk a little bit about the benefits to the coaching program. So if someone has no credit history whatsoever, after 6 months of going through our program, they will establish a credit history and a credit score, because the payments to our program get reported as a credit builder loan on their credit report. So they're not borrowing money, they're just paying for the fee of the program. But because they're paying those $15 a month every single month, that's what helps increase their credit score. And for someone who perhaps has a score, but it's not so good, every on-time payment will help them with that credit score. Also, there will be better candidates for future financial opportunities. So they will take away like how to create a budget, how to be able to track their expenses, and how to best pay their debt. At the end of the day, I'm sure you all are trying to get paid, right? So clients will be able to take these tools that they can utilize for now and for future opportunities. Also, if a client needs any resource, we try to connect them with what's available in their state. Like I mentioned, the qualifying incentive is another great benefit. Clients take this money with them. The accountability, that has been a big plus through our financial coaching program. I often hear from people that the accountability is what they really like. The fact that they can check in with a coach throughout the year and have the opportunity to just, achieve their goals and tackle their finances. and the fact that the clients get 3 copies of their credit report throughout the year with the FICO score. As you may know, or as you may not know, the FICO score is not a free tool that you can just get. Unfortunately, you either have to purchase it from the FICO Corporation, you either purchase it in a monthly subscription to one of the credit bureaus, unless your credit card offers it to you for free, or you do something like a financial coaching program like this is where you actually get a FICO score. Unfortunately, a lot of clients think that Credit Karma gives you your FICO score, and sadly, it does not. That's what they call a credit vintage 3.0 score. So it's a completely different formula than FICO. So as you can see, it's not as accessible to clients to track their FICO score, but our program can do that with the copies of the credit report. We also offer another program called the Credit Builder Program. Mind you, they both build credit, it's just they have different names. But the Credit Builder Program is a little bit different. It's more like a credit building loan with a one-time session. So they can meet with a coach for one time, talk about what's on their credit report, the fundamental factors of credit. So just kind of like, what are the tips to build credit? What does credit consist of? That kind of situation. And they'll also get a sheet on introduction to credit that they can read and take along with them to learn a little bit more. They will also get the 3 copies of their credit report with the FICO score throughout the year. Now, this program is only $5 a month for 12 months, which is $60 a year. And also comes with the incentive. As long as clients are in these qualifying states, they will receive the $120 incentive. Same thing as the coaching, it'll get split up after the first payment clears. They'll get that $60 back into their bank account. And after the last payment clears, they will also get another $60 deposited into their bank accounts. Now, for clients that are not in the qualifying states, for example, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Illinois, we still have our programs. They just change a little bit. And of course, there's no incentive behind it, right? So the one that will have the major change will be the Credit Builder. In these states, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Illinois, we can still have the Credit Builder program. However, it does not come with a one-time session. It's just a Credit Builder loan. It's still $5 a month for 12 months, but there's no incentive. And the coaching program remains the same in the markets as well. It's just no incentive is attached to it. But we can still, like I said, help clients build their credit or establish credit in these states. Now, the referral process for attorneys. So I would be more than happy to connect with anybody who is interested in learning more about these programs, or just how to connect your clients or even your staff members via email or phone call. I would be more than happy to send out flyers of the programs. I can also coordinate an introduction presentation for, like I said, your employees or your clients, offering more of the financial empowerment workshop. So we also do workshops with different topics. For example, let's say debt, savings, saving for the holidays, etc. Right? We can stream live these workshops to reach a broader audience if desired. So that is something that we could also do, and we have done in the past. And I just linked here the information to our direct coaching line, my email, and also if this is something that clients are interested, we can definitely talk further, but also clients can just log on into our website and fill out the form that they're interested in our program. They just need to put that they're referred by you, and then we'll contact them and get them enrolled in the program. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit more. I know we're going to have time for Q&A, but I wanted to talk about frequently asked questions, because we do get these questions quite often. So do clients need a Social Security to be eligible? So no, they can definitely have an I-10 to get started. Because our programs are credit building, we will need at least an I-10 for that. I know sometimes clients are like, oh, I don't have it either. But the purpose of the credit building is to kind of report something on the credit report. And without one of these numbers, unfortunately, we can't do that. So social or I-10 works. Another popular question that we get all the time is, can you repair my credit? So no, we're not a credit repair company. However, the coach can help clients, give them tips to improve their credit score, how to handle derogatory items, that's on their credit. Another one is, can you consolidate my debt? We do get this one quite often as well. No, unfortunately, debt consolidation is a separate industry. However, we can advise clients how to best address these issues and how they can negotiate with creditors. And for coaching services, as long as the individual is 18 plus, they qualify. There's no other additional requirement. Do I need a bank account? So if a client has an eligible prepaid debit card, that works as well. So the prepaid debit cards are similar to the ones that Origination has. So as long as it's one of those that has the ACH process, we can take that for coaching as well. And we'll leave this for Q&A, but thank you for coming, and I would be happy to answer any questions that arise.
So thank you, Janet, very much. I don't see a question in the Q&A, but I'm going to start with a question for you. And it's fortunate that we have everyone on the call, from our loan origination manager, Roxana, to Kyle, who's our chief credit officer, and myself as the business development person. So my first question, to get everyone started, success story. Can you share a success story with us for someone that has gone through our financial coaching program? One that stands out.
Yes, there's one particular client who I will never forget. She came through the program and she shared with me that at one point growing up, she was homeless. She never learned how to budget. She was working, but unfortunately she was behind on her bills, her rent. So it was always like a catch up. When she did the program, we worked together on how to create a budget. How can she best, keep track of her expenses, reduce unnecessary things. And this is all during COVID. She ended up getting a good raise in her job, and things turned 360. She was able to pay rent on time, pay bills on time. She even took out some furniture because she didn't really have any new furniture. So it was like a 360 for her. She learned how to save, she learned how to do all these great things while she was in the program. So that is one that stands out the most. There's many other ones. I've had a client who, after the program, he was like, "Hey, Janet, I just wanted to let you know that, remember that goal I had buying a house? Well, I bought the house now." And I was like, "Oh, great, congratulations." So even after the program, some kind of stay in touch and just be like, "Hey, I completed that goal." So those are just a couple of the stories that stick out the most.
So thank you. You mentioned some states on the slides, like Florida, Texas, right, that have the incentive.
Yep. So Connecticut, New Jersey, Florida, and Texas.
Yes. What about we have Delaware? We're in 11 states. Colorado. What about those states that weren't listed in the presentation?
So unfortunately, we don't do coaching in those states yet. I know the lending license is a little bit different than the coaching one. So not yet, maybe in the future. I know Andy always pushes for new initiatives, new states. So maybe one day we'll be in there for coaching as well. But as of right now, we're not offering the programs on those particular states that you mentioned.
Okay, but since immigration is federal law, we can have a partner in Colorado that has a customer that they refer to us, a case that they refer to us for financing in, let's say, Texas. Then that person in Texas could possibly, if not approved with us the first time around, could participate in the financial coaching program, correct?
Yes, if they're in Texas, yes. So even if the attorney is based off in another state, but their client is in a qualifying state, then yes, we can take them. I know that we just recently got on board with this organization who is based in New York, but they serve clients from all over the states. So they're looking to refer those people over to us. So yes, that could be a scenario.
Thank you. I know there's a question in the chat. I think we got that addressed. The contact information is in the chat for our financial coaching department. Another question I do have, since I'm giving people on the call, I'm giving our friends on the call an opportunity to ask some more questions, please. But this one is for our Chief Credit Officer, Kyle. Can you speak a little bit to our audience about the benefit of going through financial coaching if we have a case that initially was declined because the credit was not as strong, or the history wasn't trending in the right direction? On all declines, please, a reminder to everyone on the call: when we decline a loan, they get an email from us. And I know Roxanne can speak to this. Roxana can speak to this, I'm sorry, in detail. They get a letter from us, and we tell them, and it's a very long letter. We tell them exactly why they would decline, what things caused the declination, and at the bottom of the email. And I would hope we would change this. I'm fighting for us to change this to get our financial coach, because we mentioned financial coaching in our declination email, that they can utilize that service that we provide to help them. So Kyle, it's a long-winded question, but can you talk a little bit about the benefit of financial coach? Someone that's been declined, they participate in our financial coaching and come back 3 to 6 months down the road, how we look at that from an underwriting standpoint.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Lawrence. And I think there's a distinction, kind of as Janet touched on. The coaching program can kind of develop that foundation. That's really going to have a super long-term payoff in terms of developing your credit score, and kind of, getting you in the right direction for the long term. But at the same time, to your point, Lawrence, we may have referred someone who wasn't a strong candidate for approval to coaching. And it definitely has an opportunity to help improve their candidacy for one of our loan products. So someone is declined by us, works with coaching for 6 months. There's a very good chance they may better understand our requirements. At the same time, it's kind of already embedded with coaching that they'll be working on improving things like their cash flow, kind of, the health of their bank statements, things like that. And additionally, as Jana had mentioned, we're going to get a chance to see some payments be drawn from their accounts each month. So 6 consecutive months of on-time payments towards one of your coaching loans, coupled with working with the coach, kind of, again, building out that foundation, working on your cash flow, your bank account management. We've definitely seen candidates come back as a much stronger applicant, and then, potentially receive a loan after, working with coaching for that 6-month period. We should note it's going to be all relative to kind of the size of the request. For much larger loans, maybe above, 10,000, approaching our loan max of 20,000, 6 months of coaching might not be necessarily the make or break. But again, there's such long-term payoff with coaching, and at the same time, the applicant better understanding our process, what we're looking for, it's no doubt going to have the potential to improve their candidacy. Sorry, kind of long-winded backwards, but I appreciate the question.
Thank you, Kyle. We've had a series of questions in the chat, and I'll just go over those real quickly. I'm not sure if everyone is really in the chat taking a look, but we've added Janet's information, our email, and our contact information, both telephone numbers in English and Spanish. There's a form a client can fill out that will lead directly to our coaching website. So if we have any attorneys, caseworkers that want to refer a client, they can send the form directly to them, right, Janet? And that client can fill out, and we'll take it from there. We have a question from an attorney. Only clients who are currently working with an attorney can participate in this program. No, anyone can join the program. It doesn't have to be immigration related. It doesn't have to be even a customer or a potential customer of Capital Good Fund. If you have someone that that would benefit from this program, please share the link with them, and we will take it from there. Can an attorney get a referral fee for sending clients to sign up for any of these programs? Janet responded that we can have a conversation about this. So I'll leave that up to Janet. What I will say is that from a immigration loan program, lending program for everyone, we do not take any cuts or do any referral fees. So if you refer a customer to us for immigration loan, it's approved and we close a loan, we send the USCIS filing fees, we send the attorney fees, and any other fee associated with the immigration case, and that's it. There is no fees for referring customers to get a loan from Capital Good Fund, but Janet can address the financial coaching program in detail. Can a client pay the full year at once, or do they have to make monthly payments? Okay, Carla, thank you for that question. Janet.
Yes, so yes, they can, but the purpose of the credit builder program is to help build your credit every single month. So the monthly time payments are the ones that are going to help the credit. If they pay all up front, there's going to be no history reporting on their credit for the next 12 months.
So basically, we wouldn't recommend that. We want to see that history.
Correct. Correct.
Yes.
Because that monthly payment is what's going to build the credit history for them. If they pay it up front, it's just going to show that they took out a loan, paid it in like less than a month, and there's not going to be any history behind it.
And Janet, you might have mentioned this in the presentation. I apologize if I missed it. Someone that goes through our credit builder program, on average, their score, what do we see in terms of score increase?
It really depends on each client, because there's clients that have multiple accounts, there's clients that don't have any accounts. But I will say, someone who has no credit history whatsoever and they don't have any collections, they can go from having no score to 700 in 6 months. I have seen that. Someone who perhaps came in with a low score, assuming everything else stays the same, and I mean, there's no late payments, there's no other collections popping up. Their score can increase anywhere from like 30 points from that first 6 months, or in general, it can go up to like 60 points. But once again, it will all depend on all of those factors. Are they paying on time? Is there any other debt that pops up on their credit report? That will help build the credit.
Thank you.
Did I answer your question?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Any other questions in the chat? I'm not seeing any. Did I miss any, Roxanne?
I don't think so. I think we pretty much cover all of them that are in the chat.
Well, we are doing great on time. I'm just gonna kind of open it up. I apologize for the new. I'm just going to open it up and ask if anyone else from the team would like to add any closing comments before we go. Roxana, Kyle, Janet.
No, I'm just happy that everybody was on board and took a little bit of information. Like I said, I am available, whether it's for you to refer clients or if you're interested in workshops, by all means. If you're in the qualifying states, we can definitely talk about those workshops. They are free, and my information is in the chat.
Thank you. I'd just like to add also and thank everyone for participating in today's session. And for those that have been here for the last 2 sessions, thank you for coming and spending 30-35 minutes with us and learning a little bit more about how we are looking at and attacking and processing cases that you refer over to us from an underwriting standpoint to loan originations and to financial coaching. I will tell you that we have had requests from attorneys recently about, our financial coaching program to help their clients that did not get approved the first time around. And we also have been talking about this specifically in our underwriting team. Kyle, you can definitely speak to that on, ways we can help more immigration clients, get across the finish line that don't have credit, have had some credit challenges, because, you've probably heard me say this and what we want to do is close as many immigration cases, as many immigration loans as possible. We have a high approval rating. We're a non-traditional lender. We're just not looking at, you know, we're looking at credit history. FICO score is not that much of an issue. Credit history and which way it's trending is very important for us to make a decision. So, you know, we definitely have this as top of mind to try to get more clients closed for you that you can refer that have no credit or have had some credit challenges in the past. So thank you so much again for participating today. Our webinar series for this year is complete with our 3 sessions, and we will get back into the lab, right, Roxana, in December, and start thinking about what we're going to be presenting during the first quarter to our partners in form of additional webinar sessions. Let me just add also, if there's anything, any ideas you have out there, please send an email over to me or immigration@capitalgoodfund.org, or call, you know, anyway, get if you have some ideas on what you'd like to kind of hear about as it relates to immigration and our program, let us know, and we could probably create and craft a session specifically for what you guys would like to learn more about and hear more about from us. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Have
you
a great
all.
day.